Poland is grappling with a growing migration crisis that requires urgent solutions from the ruling coalition. Law and justice politicians are proposing regulatory changes, recognising the need to adapt the law to the current situation. Meanwhile, there are intense clashes in local governments between councils affiliated with the ruling camp and residents and community activists who oppose mass migration. In Poland, foreigners wait about 3 years to be granted citizenship. That's a very short time. Opposition politicians want to extend this time to 10 years.
Jest to nasza odpowiedź na zagrożenia.
This is our response to the threats facing Poland.
Nielegalni migranci powinni być deportowani.
Illegal migrants should be deported from our country. Legal migrants who commit crimes should also be deported from Poland. In other European countries, the waiting time for citizenship is much longer. In Italy, 10 years of uninterrupted residence is required. In Austria, it is also 10 years. In Hungary, it is 8 years of uninterrupted residence. In Poland, it is only 3. This simply must be changed. Migration policy must take into account the interests of our country.
Migracja oczywiście nie jest niczym złym, ale pod kilkoma warunkami.
Migration is not a bad thing, but under several conditions. First, under the rules that the host country sets, and these are not imposed rules. And secondly, when these rules take into account the interests of that country. One of them, such I would say even systemic, is that the balance, the proportion between, natives and those we receive is not disturbed. Meanwhile, 49 centres for integration of foreigners are to be established throughout Poland, including in Piotrków Trybunalski. This is opposed both by the residents of that city and the neighbouring county. An extraordinary session of the county council on the issue was held in Radomsko on Monday, where a resolution expressing support for the residents of Piotrków was proposed.
Mieszkańcy powiatu piotrkowskiego, mając świadomość przestępczych zachowań imigrantów,
Residents of Piotrków County, being aware of the criminal behaviour of immigrants, protest and oppose the action of the city authorities aimed at establishing a centre for integration of foreigners in Piotrków Trybunalski. We are neighbours as far as Piotrków Trybunalski is concerned, and for many years the city of Radomsko was in the Piotrków voivodeship. And as we know, the decision of the December coalition authorities is for all centres for integration of foreigners to be established in former voivodeship cities. After a heated discussion lasting several hours, councillors affiliated with the ruling camp changed the content of the resolution, distorting its meaning. We give our support to the government of the Republic of Poland and vote, in what we have done so far, considering it adequate to the prevailing situation. Local politicians of the December 13th coalition were not appealed to by any arguments presented by, among others, activists of the border defence movement. The guidelines have changed. They changed in March 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, they are no longer what they were. Please see one of the most important points, support for legalisation of residence. Well, you can read it. It is an accessible document.
To haniebne działanie niestety radnych.
This is a disgraceful action, unfortunately, of the district councillors affiliated with the Civic Coalition because of not responding to the truth first of all, but also not responding to the needs of the residents of Radomsko district and further the district of Piotrków. The movement for the defence of borders announced decisive act. The guilty are to bear political responsibility.
Będzie kolejna specjalna rada, będzie.
There will be another special council. There will be a leaflet and poster action where we will show which people were involved in not taking care of the security of Polish people in the context of migration policy. The migration problem in Poland is growing and the current legislation needs to be adapted to the new situation. Despite growing public concern, both the December 13th coalition government and local government officials associated with that political camp remain indifferent to the voice of citizens. Will the approach to security determine the outcome of the upcoming presidential election?